What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am Jamal McCant from the 140 Plus Sports. Back again. This is day 3. Another profitable day yesterday, small profit. We cashed on the Orlando Magic and we took UCLA plus 6.5. We did fail on the Philadelphia 76ers. They were getting blown out the majority of that game. They were down by 22 in the first quarter. So that was a bad call all around. That was my biggest NBA play. I did fail on that, but we got 2 more plays today, and I have some recommendations for games that I'm not personally betting. So we're going to go into those games right now. First game, I like the Celtics. The reason why I like the Celtics, for one, you're getting a discount because Jaylen Brown, as of right now, is listed out. He might play, he might not. I don't know, but I know that if he becomes probable, the line might jump up 1.5. So I'm going to take them at -1 right now. This is a revenge spot for a game they lost earlier this season to the Mavericks. They have won 7 of the last 10 versus the Mavs and covered 6 of those 10. Especially since the Magic, they're still sitting around 500. And they're only beaten team. They actually have a losing point differential as of right now. So anytime they dominate a team, which they did against the Oklahoma City Thunder, I look to fade them in the next game, or depending on the line. If we're getting a generous line, which I believe we're getting a discount on the Celtics here just due to the injuries, I'm going to take them. So we got the positive history, and also if you watch the last game, Evan Fournier was terrible, and I expected that. That's why I took the New Orleans Pelicans. I expected Evan Fournier to come out slow. I didn't expect it to be that bad. I believe he was 0 for 10 from the field. He can't play any worse, so I'm really banking on him coming out in this game and putting on a better performance than he did. Hopefully we get Jaylen Brown at the end as well. If you get this -1 right now, and then the line bumps up to 2.5, you're sitting on a better number than what you're going to get at the closing number. So also today I like the Bulls at 7.5. Even though they're struggling, this is a team that's pretty good covering games on the road. They're 14-6 against the spread, and they're facing a Phoenix Suns team that's on a back-to-back, that's in playing their 6th game in 9 days. So schedule effect here, and you know, if you've watched the Phoenix Suns over the last 4 or 5 games, they've really been struggling. They haven't really been beating teams badly. They've had their opportunities to win by double figures, but for some reason they're letting teams back in. And the only reason they covered last game was a late 3 by Crowder, which put them over the number. So this is a team that's really on the brink of losing, and they're facing a Chicago team that's really good against the spread on the road. They might be without Zach LaVine, which gives us a better number. If he was in there, I would expect this line to be 4.5 or 5.5. But without him, we're getting a 7.5 out there, which is a discount. So the Phoenix Suns are only beating teams by about 6 points a game. So do you expect them to overachieve in this game or underachieve? I expect them to underachieve just with the scheduling, and if they might come in this game thinking it's very easy without Zach LaVine in it, not knowing how the Bulls are going to even attack them. So this might be a game that the Bulls are actually up for most of the game. And if the Phoenix Suns do come back and win, it'll be a late victory. All right, so in terms of lean, that's all I have for plays. But in terms of leans, I like the Pistons first half. Just very quick, the Raptors. I'm not Raptors. Keep saying Raptors. Blazers. I think they're overpriced here at that number. So at 7.5. So I do like the Pistons first half, even though this team is only 13-33 straight up. They're only losing games by about 3 points a game. And the Raptors, if you know, when a team goes on a road trip, they circle certain games on that road trip, and then they have these games that are kind of in between that they don't care about as much. But I know they wanted to beat the Raptors. I believe the Miami Heat was on this road trip. They wanted to beat the Miami Heat, but now that they're at the end of the road trip, they're just thinking about going home, saying hi to the kids, saying hi to the wife, you know, sleeping in their bed. This is just a game that I don't think they're going to come in here super focused to put put the Pistons away. So I think the Pistons are going to open up this game fast and keep it close. But just not enough for me to bet, simply because the Pistons are coming off of a win. And like I said before in my introductory video, when a bad team is coming off of a win, it really takes the motivational edge away. So I don't have enough on this. I don't like this game enough to place a bet on it. Moving on, we got the Pacers. I do like the Pacers full game, but not enough, because this is a revenge factor. There is a revenge factor for the Miami Heat, since the Pacers did beat them 2 times in a row a week ago. But do you trust the Miami Heat to put together another strong performance off of in 2 times in a row, basically? So they just beat the New York Knicks. Now they have to beat the Indiana Pacers. That's going from a struggling team that's lost like 5 games in a row to winning 2 road games back to back. That's hard for me to take. If they do win, it's a short number, so if they do win, they have to either win by 2 or 1. But I can't trust them in this spot either. Next, we got the Rockets. I like the Rockets versus Brooklyn. I like the Rockets here to cover the number. They already played. This is a revenge game for the Rockets. I mean, I thought they were going to put up a much better performance in Houston versus James Harden, but they let that game get by them and lost by, I believe, 18 points. But the Brooklyn Nets, if you've watched them over the last week or so, they have been struggling. They haven't been beating anybody convincingly. They struggled against the Wolves, and they struggled against the Pistons. So do I trust this team to put together a strong performance again versus a team they know they can beat, that has revenge on their mind, that's coming off of a double-digit loss? No, I don't. So it's a lean for me. The only reason it is a lean is because it's the Rockets. I guess that's just me being scared. So I might actually take the Rockets, because I think everything is lining up for them to keep this one close. Next, we're going to go Jazz lean. This is a revenge. There is a revenge factor for the Memphis Grizzlies here. They did lose 2 games in a row, but if you look at the recent history, they've been losing to this team for the last, I think, 5 or 6 games. And they've only covered 1 of those games. So how much? And I believe they've lost 4 of the last 5 too. So how much does the revenge factor actually matter in this game? The Utah Jazz aren't only just beating this team; they're actually beating them by the number that we were given today, which is 5.5. They've covered these games, and they're winning by an average of 6 or more in most of them. I believe only 1 game, which is the game that they won by 3 in Utah last week, has come even within this number. So you're getting a discount because there's no Donovan Mitchell here at 5.5. So if I were to take a bet in this game, it would be the Utah Jazz here. Raptors. The only reason I like this game is because it reminds me of the Miami Heat line versus the New York Knicks. You take a struggling team and then you give them a ridiculous number, and it makes you question, like, what do the bookmakers know that I don't know? Why are the Raptors today getting 7.5? I have no idea. Even though the Oklahoma City Thunder are struggling, they do put up a fight against teams. You know, they are losing games by about 6 points, which is, they have a better record than the Pistons, but their point differential is worse. So this is a team that can win and they can lose, but the Raptors are struggling, and 7.5 is just too much for me to take. But for some reason, it looks like a trap, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually cover this game. But the value is on the Oklahoma City Thunder here. The Knicks. I like the Knicks here, but at 4, I do think you're overpaying just a tad. But the Tom Thibodeau is facing his old team, and the Knicks are coming off of a loss. But so is Minnesota. If Minnesota was coming off of a win here, I would probably fade them. But I really don't know what I'm going to get out of the Minnesota Timberwolves here. They could be motivated since they came back on Brooklyn. They could be motivated coming into this game. I do like the Knicks to win, so if I can get them at a money line, if the Minnesota Wolves come out fast, perfect, but I'm not going to take the 4 as of right now. The Kings, we got a team that's hot and getting points, even though there was a revenge factor for the Spurs. The Spurs have failed to cover 7 of the last 8 versus the Kings. So how much value does the revenge factor have in this matchup? Not much. Sorry. Not much. So I'm not going to use that as an angle. If the Spurs do cover, I think they're going to cover the first quarter or the first half. They are a better first half team than the Kings. So that provides a little value, especially with such a short number. But I can't. If you're going to give me points against with a team that's won 6 in a row, I'll take it every time. So it's a lean. The only reason it's not a play is because there is a revenge factor, and I know that if the Kings come out and fail to cover this game, I would have known better. So I'm not going to take that one. The final game, we got the Bucks. 9 is just too much. But Lakers are starting Drummond here. This is his first game with the Lakers, and we have seen what happens when teams start these new acquisitions. They come out slow, and normally they don't cover. Aaron Gordon is the one exception here. You saw what happened with Evan Fournier. You're seeing what's happening with the Bulls and Vucevic. I expect that same effect here, especially with the Lakers coming off of a loss. And this is a revenge game for the Bucks. The Bucks could come out here and completely throttle the Lakers tonight, and that's kind of why the line is what it is. But it's just too much with the Bucks losing the last 3 and last 4 against the spread. I mean, I don't know what we're going to get from the Bucks today. So I lean the Bucks. It might be a play if I can get them live. The Lakers would have to go up by 10 or more early to get the Bucks at like -5 or something, which I'm much more comfortable taking in this matchup. So that's pretty much all I got for today. If you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll try to get back to you. Please follow the action and my Twitter. That is where I post anything extra that I have. If I have any college plays, any NHL plays, any MLB plays. I don't have any MLB today. I don't mess with a preseason in any sport. So, but if I do have any late plays, follow those accounts for those updates. All right. So that's all I got. Just have a profitable day, guys. Good luck.